So let's understand. Next is time division multiplexing. Let's understand this with a mechanical switch analogy. So for example, this is channel 1 signal, then channel 2, channel 3, and this is channel 4. There is a mechanical switch S1 which is rotating, so this is a transmitter. Then at receiver there is a channel 1 receiver, channel 2 receiver, channel 3 receiver, and a channel 4 receiver. So there is another mechanical switch S2 that is also rotating. So this is the receiver. So this is channel 1, channel 2, channel 3, and channel 4 input. This is my channel 1 receiver, channel 2 receiver, channel 3 receiver, and channel 4 receiver. So this switch is rotating. So whenever this switch touches this channel 1, it takes the samples from channel 1 and sends on this communication line. Then it touches to channel 2, then again it takes the sample from channel 2 and sends on this communication line. Then it connects to channel 3, then to channel 4, and so on, and one by one the switch S1 is taking samples from channel 1, channel 2, channel 3, and channel 4 and passing it over this communication line to the switch S2. This is the switch S2 pole. Now this switch is also rotating. So this switch touches this channel 1 and gives the samples of channel 1 which has been collected by S1 to the channel 1 by S2. Similarly, this S2, when it will touch to the channel 2, so it will pass the samples which has been collected from S1 of channel 2 to this channel 2. So this is going on, and this channel 1 signal is sending to channel 1, channel 2 is to channel 2, channel 3 to channel 3, and channel 4 to channel 4. But to have 100% perfect communication between these two mechanical rotating switch, there are three things are very important. One is that you should have a data on this line. That means you should have signals at channel 1, channel 2, channel 3, and channel 4. Second thing is both switch should run with the same speed. Both switch should rotate with the same speed. The rotating speed of S1 and S2 should be same. And when we talk about in terms of electronics, that is nothing but that is the clock. So another important signal which is required between these two S1 and S2 100% communication, that is the clock. The clock of S1 and S2 should be same. And third is, even this switch is rotating S1 with the same speed at which the S2 is rotating, but if they are not synchronized, then you will not have 100% communication. Because if it happens, both are rotating with the same speed, but when this S1 touches channel 1, and at that time if S2 touches channel 4, then the channel 1 samples will be delivered to channel 4. It will not happen that channel 1 samples will be delivered to channel 1. So that is the reason both switch should run with the same speed, but they should also have the synchronization between the two switches. And that is nothing but when we talk in terms of electronics, that is the synchronization pulse, or the sync, we call it as a sync. So to have a 100% communication between transmitter and receiver, you need data, you need clock, and you need sync. So there is a possibility that you may send the data which is available at these inputs, then you can send the clock from transmitter to receiver. So there will be another cable to send the clock from transmitter to receiver, and then you need a synchronization pulse, so you also send a third signal from transmitter to receiver, which is a sync signal. And that is the reason this way of communication, or this way of establishing communication between transmitter and receiver, who are working into a principle of time division multiplexing, is called a three-wire communication. Three-wire communication. And you will appreciate that this time division multiplexing, they are sharing the time, and the time sharing is been done between these four channels. Now to send data, clock and sync from transmitter to receiver, that means you need to lay down the three cables. It's very practical, it is impossible. So then what you do? So what we do is, you can see that every after fourth rotation we generate a sync pulse, that yes, it is synchronized. So what we can do is, we can send the data from transmitter to receiver, we can send the data, that means the signals, and we send the synchronization pulse, that is the sync pulse, between transmitter and receiver. Then with the help of PLL at receiver, we add one PLL block which multiplies the sync frequency by 4 and derives the clock, because there are 4 channels, so basically the clock frequency is 4 times the synchronization frequency, so we multiply it by 4 and we derive the clock at the receiver. So now the communication between transmitter and receiver is being done with the help of 2 wires, 2 signals, that is data and sync, and clock is derived at the receiver. The receiver circuit becomes now little bit complex because now PLL get added, and this way of communication is 2-wire communication. Now this is also difficult to establish 2 wires between transmitter and receiver. Practically there should be only one connection between transmitter and receiver. So if I have a transmitter and if I send the data at receiver, but what I do, we will do that in channel 1 we will give a DC signal. We will give a DC signal. We will get a DC signal. So that means its amplitude is constant with respect to time. Channel 2 we will be having another sine wave or any signal. In channel 4 we may be having any audio signal, something like that. The switch is rotating. At receiver also there is a switch. This is channel 1, channel 2, channel 3 and channel 4. But what we will do is, we will keep this amplitude of this DC voltage such that it is the maximum compared to the channel 2, channel 3 and channel 4. So this amplitude of this DC voltage which has been given to channel 1, it will be the maximum amplitude compared to channel 2, channel 3 and channel 4. So what will happen? This is a DC switch. So whenever this switch will touch channel 1, I will get a constant amplitude pulse. So if we see how the signal will look like, so I will be getting channel 1 constant, then channel 2, then channel 3, channel 4. Again I will be getting a constant amplitude pulse because this is DC, then channel 2, channel 3, channel 4. Then again I will be getting a constant amplitude pulse, and then say this is what I am getting. So every first pulse is of constant amplitude and its amplitude is higher than channel 2, channel 3 and channel 4. So what I will do at receiver, I will give this signal, this particular signal, say I am just putting it asterisk, I will be giving this signal to a comparator, circuit. This is a reference of my comparator. The reference of this comparator will be set higher than this channel 2, channel 3 and channel 4 and lower than this. So reference of that comparator will be set somewhere at this point. So what will happen when this signal is coming? So whenever this constant amplitude pulse will come, it will cross the reference and my comparator will trigger and it will generate a signal. Again, if this is lower than reference, lower than reference, lower than reference, so comparator will not trigger. When again this pulse will come, so this again my comparator will trigger. So this is how I am getting a sync signal from my comparator output. Again, it will be given to a PLL which will do the multiplication by 4 and it will give me the clock. And so from transmitter and receiver I am sending only data, but with one channel a DC signal, which is a constant DC signal, and this is how I have added now comparator. So comparator is also there now, PLL is also there now, and this is how I achieved a one wire communication between transmitter and receiver. So this is one wire communication. So this is how I have established the one wire communication between transmitter and receiver using the time division multiplexing. But now let's see the drawback. What happens? The DC is basically a constant amplitude pulse, so it carries no information. So in this case, one channel is reduced, even though there are 4 channels, but the one channel is not having any message signal. Basically, it is a constant amplitude DC voltage, so I cannot send any message signal. So basically, the number of channels gets reduced by 1, but at the same time, there is no need of putting 3 different wires between transmitter or receiver, or there is no need of putting 2 wires between transmitter and receiver. Wires in the sense that no need of sending data, clock and sync separately from transmitter and receiver. No need of sending the data and sync signal from transmitter and receiver. You only send the data signal from transmitter and receiver and derive channel 2, channel 3, channel 4 signals independently at the receiver end. So we also call that, this is basically a multiplexer and this is basically a demux, which is a demultiplexer. So this is how the importance of time division multiplexing is.